Well, we're rapidly running out of December and also 2023. Thanks for clicking on to the Saturday edition of Vogan's European Outlook. Hope everybody is safe and well. It has been a pretty wild past 24 hours, especially up here across the north of Scotland, where we've seen a real mixed bag of weather in the last 12 to 24 hours. Heavy rainfall, snowfall, accumulating snow, the first snowfall of the season here at Marfogan Weather HQ, but also like quite significant disruption on the roads around about here as well. Flooding was an issue, blocked roads due to snowfall, down trees. We've had a real mixed bag of weather. And if we go back to last weekend, we did see Kinloch U in the West Highlands record 141 millimetres of rain within a 48-hour period. Here at the house, I've exceeded 34 millimetres of rain for the last, really since midnight, and the rain continues off and on. But in the western portions of the country, once again, there is probably places that are exceeding 100 millimetres. So after what has been a very dry start of December, it has really turned around actually in the last couple of weeks with significant amounts of rainfall. And I was saying that to my wife just earlier on this afternoon when I went to pick her up at work. It was a bit of a battle getting to and from. Snowfall was the issue. The A9 was really quite snow covered this morning, taking her to work around 6:15. And then on the way back, because of rain persisting throughout the course of the morning, flooding was actually the issue going back to pick her up this afternoon. But I was saying to her how, the forecast, the ideas that I've had with regards to this El Nino and the major turnaround in terms of precipitation during the second half of 2023 has really played out well, with significant amounts of rainfall during particularly the second half of the summer, throughout the autumn, and then even to start this winter season off, we've had a significant amount of rainfall, and a couple of main contributing aspects to that. The negative NAO, the displaced jet stream, abnormally warm waters in the Atlantic, and the El Nino flipping from La Nina to El Nino conditions. I did state way back during the back end of winter actually last year that we would see a massive turnaround in terms of rainfall as we progressed through the second half of this year, and it was almost like flicking a switch. We went from abnormally dry late spring into the early half of the summer, and then July seeing the big turnaround taking place. But this has been a remarkably warm year overall, and this is the year-to-date temperatures globally. You can see here the widespread nature of the warmth here. Only the central and western United States, parts of Alaska, southwestern China, northern China, even Mongolia, parts of equatorial Africa, a few areas of average temperatures, northern and southern Australia, for example, has seen, kind of averaged out near normal for the year date. But we've really only got just over a week left of 2023, and it looks as if, the CET, for example, the Central England temperature, has seen the first time, I believe, in recorded history, 12 months straight of warmer than average CET temperatures here. So we'll look at the global aspect more in tomorrow's global weather report, and we'll look at the details with regards to that. But you can see here the big turnaround now taking place. December playing out nicely as expected. Cold start, warm middle, and then a back and forth in the run up to Christmas and the New Year period. Here you can see that this is actually year to date temperatures still. You can actually see average temperatures over Scotland, which is quite interesting, below average across parts of Scandinavia. By the way, I think the October and November, I'm pretty sure, is the second coldest period in 100 years for parts of Scandinavia. I'll have to double check that. That's something that I'll maybe make mention of in tomorrow's global weather report, because that's quite significant. But yeah, this is December so far, and you can see that we have turned things around. So warmer and wetter than average December was forecast here on marfoganweather.com. So I'm quite pleased so far with regards to the December forecast and the winter's first month. From a Met Office point of view, White Christmas is expected in this area here to the south of Inverness, just to the north of Perth. Over the high ground, we are expecting the highest chance of seeing, particularly accumulating snow. We'll have a wider area probably where you could see snow in the air, but I think I prefer the American definition of a white Christmas rather than the Met Office. Met Office being that you record snow in the air at an official station that constitutes a white Christmas. The Americans, an inch or more of snow on the ground constitutes a white Christmas. But you can see here, higher ground, expecting possibly upwards of 10 centimetres of snow. Low levels, maybe 1 to 3 inches. That's according to the Met Office. What a contrast we have seen across the British Isles in the last day or so. Now, temperatures haven't gotten above 1.5 Celsius here at Eventon, just north of Inverness, all day long. And you can see as we play back through this animation here, we had a distinct contrast. Even during the early hours of this morning, we had temperatures that dropped from about +2 Celsius. So actually the warmest part of the day here at the house was actually just after midnight when the temperature was just over 2 Celsius. It stayed generally between 0 and 1.5 all day long. Heavy rainfall, thick slush on the ground, because we did have a decent little coating of snow this morning. It's been raining most of the day, and I was saying that it's truly miserable conditions for people either travelling now to see friends or family for Christmas, getting last minute shopping in, and of course Christmas groceries. Chaos in the roads. Snow gets shut in several spots north of Dornoch through the course of today, causing all sorts of havoc. But look at the contrast in temperature. 10, 11 Celsius in and around Glasgow and Edinburgh, as you can see, +5 at Strathallan. And then once you got up towards Dalwhinnie northwards, temperatures were stuck at around 0 to 1 Celsius. As we play through the animation, you can see here how that warmth has been creeping very gradually northwards here, and the temperatures have really shot up in the last hour or so at Aviemore. Skip back. So between 1450 and now, the temperatures went from 1 Celsius to 9 Celsius at Aviemore. That represents how the air mass is warming up. As the next area of low pressure moves in from the west, we're going to see the temperatures warming up. But there's been a cold wedge of air extending from Altnahara down towards Loch Lisgarnock, across our neck of the woods here, Inverness, down towards Braemar and Aboyne. That's where the cold has been lingering throughout the course of today. But you can see Aviemore is now up at 9 Celsius, but further south, 11, 12, and let's not forget our friends either in Ireland or England and Wales. A couple of pockets, 8, 9 Celsius, as you can see in parts of north central Wales, but 11s quite widely to the east of the Pennines, 12 Celsius on the south side of the Humber, and all the way down to the south coast here, 11, 12 Celsius. A very, very mild day indeed. We're going to see a mild Christmas Eve coming up. And this is the current radar. So we've had, like I said, leaden skies, no wind, but very, very heavy rainfall. Over the high ground, we've had heavy snowfall. So let's play it through the last 24 hours and see the precipitation and how it's just been piling in, and it's been relentless, really from the southern uplands all the way up to the north coast all day long. You can see here that band of heavy precipitation running in from the west, introducing milder air gradually, but at low levels, despite the mid and upper levels of the atmosphere actually warming up. Look at that there, how that heavy, intense rainfall driving in from the west here. But that cold air in place that kind of drifted in during the overnight last night allowed the snow to fall and accumulate right down to sea level during the overnight period last night. And then it's turned back to rain because we've got 0 or 1 Celsius at the surface, but a few hundred meters above the ground, you've actually got temperatures above freezing. For a good part of the afternoon, Aviemore was colder than Cairngorm Summit. Cairngorm summit, just over 4,000 feet above sea level. It was sitting at +4 Celsius, Aviemore at 0 Celsius. So we had the inversion and the colder at the low levels. We're going to see more heavy rainfall, by the way, over the next couple of days, and that's going to continue to mount up and end 2023 on a very, very soggy note. So this was the scene looking out the bedroom window this morning, a very slushy deposit of snow that we woke up to, and believe it or not, there's actually still a little bit of snow out there at the moment here. I think the temperature's stuck at the levels that we've seen. So even during the course of late morning, the temperature was only sitting at 0.7 Celsius. Now, usually if you get an inch of rain falling on a slushy covering of snow, it disappears very quickly. But I think the fact that the ground temperature was so low that it's managed to hold on. This was the scene, I believe, at Berriedale Brae, just to the south or just to the north. Yeah, just to the north of Helmsdale. Whiteout conditions, very, very tricky conditions. Cars and lorries getting stuck on the hill. This was the scene, by the way. This is just actually the lawn here. That's where my wife's work is. She works at the Kincraig Castle Hotel in Invergordon, and that's the lawn of the hotel. But you can see the road conditions. This was the main A9 and the flooding that we were experiencing. So, as I said already, it was a bit of a battle going back to Collector early this afternoon, while snow was the problem during the course of early this morning. So, speaking of snow, the UKV model is indicating that we've got this kind of snow cover, even the low levels across the North Highlands and parts of Murray and Aberdeenshire through the course of this morning. That has been shrinking through the course of this afternoon, and the reason why, so you notice here it kind of peps up. You've got the reddy colours, the purple colours representing significant amounts of snow over high ground, and then as you can see, it gets eaten away as that milder west to southwesterly wind kicks in off the Atlantic. And then as we continue to play, it really shrinks because we've got some very mild air moving in off the Atlantic during the course of tomorrow. And then as the next system moves in, colder air will return on the backside, and then it's all eyes on Christmas Day here. But you can see here the latest UKV model indicates the return of that snow cover, as you can see here, during the course of Monday. So Christmas Day into Boxing Day, it looks as if it's mainly a high ground feature, Central and North Highland region here. And then as we move towards the latter stages, you can see here that we get some significant snowfall during the middle portion of next week. So more on that coming up in the videos ahead. Let's have a look at the 850 temperatures, and you can see the milder air moving in. So there's that cold wedge that allowed the temperatures at the surface to stay close to freezing all day today. But as we play through, there's that warmer air at 850 moving in from a west to southwesterly direction. Very mild conditions, as you can see here, during the second half of today into tomorrow. And then we've got colder conditions moving in during the back end of tomorrow and into Christmas Day itself, as we've got that new system moving through. As that moves to the east, it's going to drag in colder air. So we've got -7, -8 Celsius at 850 by the time we reach the early hours of Christmas Day. But there's that knife edge. Draw a line over the southern uplands here. Central belt, we've got freezing below freezing to the north at -5 to -8. We've got at or slightly above freezing further south, which reduces the snow chances even over high ground, I think. Finally, let's have a look and see a lot more rainfall, as you can see, expected between now and Friday the 5th of January here. So more flooding issues to contend with here. Looking at the overview chart, this is off the GFS, by the way, and you can see that as we move through the course of the next few days, there's that area of low pressure on the northern flank with cold air in place. We could see heavy snowfall, disruptive snow. That moves through, cold northerly winds, nothing outstanding. And then we've got, with cold air in place, we've got a system moving in from a southwesterly direction. We may see some significant snow during the middle portion of next week. So it's all eyes on next week. Stay tuned for the global weather report tomorrow. Like, share, and subscribe, and I'll see you again tomorrow with more. Bye for now.